Welcome to our pre-show, the show before the show. And thanks to all of our replay viewers for coming back to watch. Yesterday was Equal Pay Day, the day women have to work into 2018 to make what men made in 2017. And we're talking about equal pay for equal work. Well, let us know if you're a union member watching. We know that unions are the great equalizers when it comes to pay. We'll also talk organizing, collective bargaining, and the challenges with each. Plus, learn about apprenticeships. We told you about one last week in Wisconsin. Today we take you to Ohio for a new one. We have lots of members throughout the Buckeye State, so get ready to comment right here on this page. Let us know what you think. We always want to hear from you. And I have with me right now, a little bit early, about a minute before the official show starts, Delane Adams, who is just back from Memphis. And Delane, you were down in Memphis. I was so jealous. But tell us what it was like, briefly, when you went to the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King and all the activities there.
It was a beautiful experience. I mean, just to see so many people that were involved with the march during that time, and then with the assassination, being able to hear the stories of people who were present, and also people who were growing up and hearing about these stories from their mothers, their fathers, grandparents, and just still where are we at today? They have, you always hear those strong words from Martin Luther King, chaos or community. So this was a moment where union members got together, and that's what we're asking ourselves now. Where do we go from here? Chaos or community?
Well, thank you so much, and stick around. It's 3 o'clock right now, so we're ready to start the show.
Okay.
Activate your voice. Activate it now. Live from Maryland. This is Activate Live.
Welcome to Activate Live. I'm Tanya Hutchins. Coming up, we'll discuss equal pay days, all of them. There's more than one when you break down pay equity by ethnicity. We have interviews coming up about organizing, collective bargaining, and apprenticeships, so stick around. And at the end of the show, we'll catch you up with the IAM calendar of events. But first, here's Communications Representative Delane Adams with the latest IAM news.
Tanya, how are you? It's been a while.
It has.
Since I've been in this seat, so
thanks. Welcome back.
I'm not jinxing anything.
No, you're fine. So what's going on?
Well, I was fortunate to attend the events in Memphis with other machinists who came to Memphis to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It was a wonderful experience being able to see all of the, not only just machinists, but the labor movement coming together just to make sure that we're honoring Dr. King, but also asking the question, where do we go from here? I know the labor movement, we have a lot on our plate this year, and this was a good time just to reflect where we are as a movement and where we want to go. And so this was a great opportunity, and being able to catch up with a lot of machinists across the country, and we all came together. And a special shout out to the Southern Territory for bringing so many people together and helping organize this, as well as Rhonda's Department of Human Rights and Civil Rights Department.
That's right. We had hundreds of machinists there, so
Yes.
There was a great turnout.
Yeah, it was. And you see some of the pictures, you see President Martinez, and the young lady in the front, that's Gary's daughter. She actually took time off from her spring break to make sure that she participated in this event. And that's what this is about, being able to have generations of individuals participate in this and keep the movement going and keep the dream alive.
That's great.
So, and the flag was a big hit. Again, we represented pretty well, and you see the big banner. Shout out to Wendy and down here in headquarters for being able to come up with that new banner, especially the size of that.
And I love the message, ask about my machinist union dream.
Yes, and then Michelle here, who's new to our department.
Michelle Furman, yeah.
Put that together. Thank you, Michelle. Again, look, you see President Martinez on the stage speaking, and shout out to Carolyn Bobb from the AFL-CIO who actually took that shot. So President Martinez, he gave a great speech, a fiery speech. And again, we just have to figure everything out, and I think this was a great moment for us all to reflect on where do we go from here.
And we have some news also coming out of Camp Pendleton.
Yes, so a payroll glitch actually caused overpayments to probably a little more than 120 retired and current police officers at Camp Pendleton. They're NEFI IAM members, Local 919. And this accounting error took place over an 8-year period. And no fault of their own, it was definitely the Department of Defense accounting error that caused this overpayment. They gave them the wrong pay rate. And so now they were given a bill for that overpayment. Debts range anywhere from $15,000 to $80,000.
And most people don't have that amount of money laying around.
And most people don't have that. And where we currently stand is they were given an opportunity to get waivers. But again, this debt is still there. NEFI IAM President Randy Irwin sent a letter out to Secretary Mathis to make sure that this debt can completely be erased instead of having this on soldiers, the police officers who do everything they can to protect the soldiers on the base at Camp Pendleton.
All right. Well, we feel for them, and we're doing the right thing, fighting for them.
Doing the right thing. And also, if I can, I just want to take a personal moment. I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary here at the IAM.
Oh, wow. That's right. It's April.
It is. And I just want to thank everybody who's been so welcoming to me being here, but also to people at headquarters, people out in the territories, W3, just everybody. And my mentor told me that this would be a family once I joined, and he's right. I totally agree, and everybody has welcomed me with open arms, and I'm glad to be a part of the Fighting Machinists.
Well, we're so happy to have you getting the news out to all of the media about the great work we're doing here at the IAM. So here's to many more.
Yes, many more.
All right. Well, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Delane.
Tanya. Have a good show.
Thank you. Well, 2.5 weeks ago, workers at United Technologies Corporation Aerospace Systems in Everett, Washington, voted overwhelmingly for union representation. IAM District 751 President Jon Holden joins us now from Seattle to tell us how the district organized the plan. So, John, what were their initial concerns?
Their initial concerns, along with wages, benefits, time off, things like that, they've been impacted by mergers and buyouts in the past. So they were another company when UTC bought them. Now UTC is looking at buying or merging with Rockwell Collins, and they're tired of being at the mercy of the new management group. New management groups come in and usually look to cut things for workers, and without having rights, the ability to bargain, they were just tired of being at the mercy of that group, and that's what drove this group to want to be represented by the union.
Now, what is the status right now? Has the NLRB certified the results yet?
Yeah, we were certified by the NLRB on April 2nd. We've sent our initial information request. We've held meetings with the members to choose their bargaining committee. We will have a member from the shop floor on the bargaining committee at all times. We're meeting to continue communication back and forth and building that first proposal with the group.
Now, what is your message to workers out there who are thinking about unionizing?
Well, I think it's so important that they realize that when you become union, you are a union, you have rights protected under federal law, which you don't have as a non-unionized worker. It's important to know that when you have those rights, you can bargain with your employer. You can work together with your coworkers to determine what's important to you. What issues do you want to improve? Without that, it's always a take it or there's the door mentality. And that's something that changes once you form a union and get to use those tools to improve your standard of living.
Now, remind us about the workers who are covered now at UTC, about what they build and who's covered.
These folks are highly skilled. They build the landing gear for Boeing 737s, 747s, and 767s. They're a great fit for our union.
And if someone is in Washington State and they're interested in organizing within your district, who should they contact? How should they go about it?
They should contact Machinist Union District 751. We've got a couple websites that they can get onto, and that's IAM751.org is our district's website, and then you have yourpowerinside.com, which has a lot of information about organizing and how the process works. You can contact us through that, and I would encourage anybody that wants to have some rights on the job to do so.
And John, tell us a little bit about where you started out and how you got involved in the union.
I grew up in a union family. I understood the benefits that we had through my dad's union, my mom's union. I hired into a union at age 20, and I benefited from being able to collectively bargain with my coworkers. I joined the Machinist Union when I got hired at Boeing. I got involved with my union. I became a union steward. I worked with our members on the shop floor. I started to get involved with my local, where I held various positions, and I got an opportunity to be an organizer in 2004 as an apprentice for the International. That gave me a great opportunity to talk with workers that weren't represented by a union, talk to them about the benefits of organizing, and how they and their coworkers could raise their standard of living. They are so proud. Where we were successful in organizing, now those groups have had second, third, and fourth contracts where they've built a foundation that they've improved on each time. They are so proud of what they've accomplished. I'm proud of what they've done, and I'm proud to be a Machinist Union member.
And we are so glad to have you. And before you leave, I just wanted to say congratulations on your Guinness Book of World Records. Before you take off, just let us know how that happened.
Thank you. That's quite an achievement for our members and the Boeing Company in our Renton facility where they build the 737. They've delivered 10,000 of those models. And it really speaks to the working relationship with our members, the engineers represented by SPIA, other Boeing employees, and management, where we've made that plant the most efficient aircraft manufacturing plant in the world. It's an amazing feat. They're proud of the work they do. They're proud of the rates that they're able to achieve, and they're going to reach far above where they're at today with improvements they're working on in the future. So it's pretty amazing. They're very proud.
Well, thank you so much, Jon Holden, President of District 751 in Seattle. Now, you too can join the conversation on Facebook or Twitter. We'd like to know what you think, so please comment on Facebook, and you can also hit the reply button to talk to us on Twitter. So now we're going to take you to Ohio for more good news. If you're just joining us, nearly 200 members of Local 1285 voted to ratify a new 3-year agreement with Gradall Industries in New Philadelphia, Ohio, ending a month-long strike. IAM District 54 President Dean Wright joins us now. Thank you for joining us, Dean.
Hey, good afternoon, sister.
Thank you so much. First, tell us a little bit about what work is covered at Gradall.
Our members are very highly skilled. They build excavators. They're used in highway construction.
Now, when you went to, and here we have a picture of you in front of one of the parts that they build.
Right, and that's the one to the left is the president, Wes Norman, and standing next to me is one of our business representatives, Don Riffey.
It always helps to see a photo of what we're talking about. When you went to negotiate this contract, what were the sticking points while you were negotiating?
Well, it was actually healthcare. That was our number one and only issue on why our members overwhelmingly voted to strike. They had a healthcare issue for a few years now, and we prepared and decided to take the company on because they wanted healthcare security for the next 3 years or more.
And I think that is a number one issue for people these days throughout the country and through Canada as well, healthcare.
It's the number one issue. All the reps, when we're at negotiations, we spend the majority of the time in negotiations going over healthcare.
What do you think made the difference in ending the strike?
I would have to say it was social media. I mean, first and foremost, our local committee, they were strong, did a great job, very knowledgeable. Our membership was strong and stood in solidarity, but social media really put us over the hump. When we first went on strike, the company immediately went and filed a TRO, a temporary restraining order against us, and limited us to 3 strikers on the picket line. And it was crazy. The court supported that. We were unrepresented. We didn't even have our day in court at that time. And the mayor and the sheriff took it upon themselves to shut down the road leading into the facility. So we were having a tough time exercising our First Amendment right and letting the community know that we were on strike. And social media, with the assistance of Grand Lodge, the Territory, John Carr came in, did a great job assisting us. Up on Twitter, you can follow us at District Lodge 54. Facebook, we really got the word out, and we were successful in getting the community to know our issue, which was health care for our member and their families. And it really took off real quick in like a week. And social media really put us over the hump.
I think you're right. It was so powerful because I was following your posts both on Facebook and Twitter, and they gained a lot of traction. Is there anything else you'd like to mention about the new contract?
Well, the healthcare was the big issue. When we went in there, healthcare was our issue. The company could change what they seen fit every year at open enrollment. The employee benefit schedule could just change, wherever they wanted to change it. And we were looking for security in that area. So through the negotiation process, we were able to secure that for 3 years with no changes. No changes in the benefit schedule, no changes in the employee contribution rates that the company wanted to increase by another 4%. And those are, it's just healthcare security for our members and their families for the next 3 years. And where we were successful in getting that, it just didn't help our members and their families. It helped that area. It helped all of Ohio. And it helped the country because we went in and showed this corporation, look, enough is enough. And we won healthcare security, and we were able to get that for our members.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Dean Wright Jr., the president of District 54 in Ohio. Thanks again.
Thank you, sister.
And you too can join the conversation on Facebook or Twitter. Let us know what you think, where you're watching from, and you can talk about any topic that we're discussing on this program. We just talked about the power of social media, and you have the power to make a comment right now on this platform that you're watching on. Well, the IAM has a long history of apprenticeship. On-the-job training has prepared countless skilled workers to do the best job they can at work and to do it safely. IAM Local 1943 President Neil Douglas joins us now from Middletown, Ohio, to tell us all about a new apprenticeship program there. Neil, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Now, Neil, there you are. How did this apprenticeship come about?
In 2005, we had an apprenticeship program here at AK Steel, and unfortunately, we lost that program. We went through a year-long lockout through 2007, and after that was done, we didn't have a apprentice program or even a maintenance training program for a little bit. Through subsequent negotiations, we kind of developed, I wouldn't call it an apprenticeship program, but it was more of a maintenance training components. We put in the collective bargaining agreement, and through a lot of trial and error, both the company finally realized when we were talking to them that this is not going to work. The skill level is decreasing in the membership, and frankly, AK Steel needed a more highly skilled bargaining unit and a training program. So about a year ago, the local and the company started to discuss and develop a maintenance training apprenticeship program, a true apprenticeship program. And we partnered up with some good folks. We partnered up with Jeanette Malk. She's from the Ohio AFL-CIO. We partnered up with Stu Bass from Keystone Development Partnership and Matthew Longfellow He's with the Ohio Job and Family Services as well as the Butler Tech Workforce Development Program, and started developing this apprentice program that was well needed.
I love the collaboration with so many different entities. What does it entail, the actual apprenticeship?
What the apprentices, it's really good for the membership. They will go into the apprenticeship program. There's 30 of them at a time. When they go in there, it's going to be a combination of classroom work, labs, as well. Get training and actually OJT on electrical, hydraulics, welding, pipe fitting, rigging, as well as like blueprint reading, shop math, hand tools, and many more subjects. It's 18 months long, and all that is, like I said, some OJT mixed in there with that. And then when they graduate after 18 months, they will go out and work in a maintenance unit at AK Steel. The good thing about it is they're going to be paid the entire time that they go.
That makes a big difference to a lot of people. You mentioned earlier how there is a difference in the skills when you have an apprenticeship program and you don't. How much of a difference does that make when you see a brand new hire who may not have gone through a program versus an apprentice who has been through a program like this?
I mean, that was one of the biggest drivers to get back to a true apprenticeship that we used to have out here. Just the skill level, knowledge, skill, and ability was not there without that apprentice training program. And I think, through a lot of convincing and the company recognizing it, they said, actually through a lot of management out on the floor that said, look, we need a better skilled workforce. And I know apprenticeships, as you've said, are a big deal throughout not just Ohio, but the United States right now. It's a big driving force. It's a gap in the workforce out there. And there was just a huge difference in that knowledge, skill, and ability for someone that's not been to an apprentice training program to someone that has. So I think it's going to bear fruit, and we absolutely hope that it continues for the next 60, 70 years out here.
Anything else you'd like to mention about the apprenticeship or your local that we haven't mentioned yet?
Yeah, there's a, besides the groups and the folks that I mentioned before, I'd like to give a big shout out to Jessica Morris. She's with AK Steel, and our local educator trainer, Derek Deerfield. Both of them put countless hours, efforts, meetings, emails in really developing the program, as well as a good point is, this is really amazing thing. I would have never dreamed we would have got this. But the majority of the teachers out there for the welding, hydraulics, electric, they are our union members that are actually journeymen that are full-time teachers doing that. So I'd like to thank them as well.
And this particular apprenticeship is not something that the general public can apply for. It's just for the current workers.
Correct, yes. The workers at AK Steel, they come out of the production unit. We bid it. It's bid by seniority and department, and they bid into that apprenticeship program, and they, will go through it as I described. But if some, they will typically go into a production unit, and that apprenticeship training will be made available to them as long as they're working out here.
Before you leave, tell us where you started out.
I hired on at AK Steel in 1998, and I was fortunate enough to where my steward at the time was actually on my crew. So he really got me, Glenn Relford, he really got me involved in the union. And then I've done various positions throughout the union. Took a break, served in the Navy for a little bit, and then I'm here now as a president directing business rep at Local Lodge 1943.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to speak with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so very much for having me.
And you too can join the conversation. Tell us if you've been through an apprenticeship. And you can do that on Facebook or Twitter. If you did, let us know where your apprenticeship was. Or if you're interested in starting an apprenticeship. So join the conversation. For every dollar spent on apprenticeship, employers get approximately $1.50 return on investment. For more information, you can go to our website, goiam.org. Just click on departments and then headquarters and then apprenticeship to learn more. And all of that information came from the Department of Labor. Well, yesterday was Equal Pay Day, the day women have to work into 2018 to make what a white man made in all of 2017. Equal Pay Day varies by race and ethnicity, and we have some dates throughout the year to show you that we'd like you to be aware of. See, because of the gender pay gap, women have less money for a rainy day. You can see 87% of what a white man makes for Asian American women, and that percentage goes all the way down to 54% for Hispanic women. Now, union jobs help to close the wage gap between women and men, so that's one of the benefits of union membership. We are just going to try to close that wage gap until it is completely closed. Don't forget that you still have time to enter Build Buy USA's video contest that promotes manufacturing and buying domestic products. It's called Make It in the USA, and you have to submit an original music video by April 25th, so time is running out. Although you're allowed to sample the old Look for the Union label jingle from the 1970s. So all of you artists and musicians out there, get your entries in. Visit buildbuyusa.org and click on contest for more information. You could win $5,000. And I think there are 4 prizes. One of them is just for a union entry. Well, here's a shout out to the classes currently at the Wimpesinger Education and Technology Center. We have social media for organizing, TCU IAM new local chair leadership, collective bargaining, and arbitration. Next week is the EAP2 class. The deadline to apply for the federal employee program is April 23rd, and there's a special event coming up April 14th at the Wimpesinger Center. The IAM's 5K walk and run for Guide Dogs of America around the perimeter trail. It is not timed, but there will be prizes for the top finishers. For more information, you can go to our website, goiam.org. Checking our meetings calendar, the Tennessee State Council of Machinists meets April 13th to the 15th in Huntsville, Alabama. That same weekend, the Michigan State Council and the New England State Council meet. Then the Canadian Labour Congress meets in Ottawa, Ontario, April 15th to the 17th. As far as our special events calendar goes, the IAM Legislative Conference is May 7th to the 9th in Washington, D.C. The TCU Convention is July 24th to the 26th. Registration is also open for the IAM Aerospace Conference in Fort Worth, Texas, September 11th to the 14th. Well, next week, we are going to tell you everything that you need to know about Guide Dogs of America, so you'll get more information on that. In the meantime, you can sign up for iMail on our website as well, and that way you'll get all of the information you need straight to your inbox. That's iMail, comes out twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Just go to goiam.org. And we raise a lot of money for Guide Dogs of America. It is our favorite charity, so we're going to have some guests next week in preparation for International Guide Dog Day, April 25th. Thanks for everyone for watching and commenting. We will see you next Wednesday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. We leave you now with Union Nation's song, Back to the Fight.
We all know who you are. We know you won't be satisfied until you own every cookie in the cookie jar. You work to outlaw our union, block our vote and our voice. You put us down, you push us down, you put us down until you leave us no choice. We're going back to the fight. Back to the fight.